Uh, sorry, my cat's right here. You can't see her, but there she is. Hello. Today I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of an experimental sort of vlog. I'm not sure what I'm gonna end up titling this, if it's gonna end up being like cozy vlog, art vlog, reading vlog. It's kind of gonna be a combination of all those different things, and I've been seeing different people on YouTube do these sorts of vlogs where it's just kind of an amalgamation of like hobbies and stuff. I might call it a hobby vlog. I don't know. But basically I have the day to myself and I intend to do some fun stuff. And I thought I would bring you guys along with me. I do want to go over at some point my January reading wrap up during this video. I'll probably be reading 3 books, hopefully. Let me get it real quick. This is my TBR for this vlog slash the beginning of February. All of these books I've already started, so I just want to go over what I'm currently reading and what I hope to read and finish by the end of this vlog, and I'll share my thoughts with you when I finish these books. First, I'm reading A Natural History of Dragons. That's by Marie Brennan. It's the memoir of Lady Trent like series. There's, I believe, 5 books in this series, and I'm just reading the first one. I think I'm about 40% through this book, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I was skeptical. I'm slowly learning through my reading journey that I really love historical fantasy. So this follows the story of a woman, Lady Trent. Her name's Isabella, and she's a dragon naturalist, essentially. In the first book, she's sort of aspiring to be one, and it's sort of her story of how she becomes one. But the way it's told, you kind of already know that she does end up being one at some point, but it's more of like the how that you're reading. It's obviously in a fantastical kind of world, like none of the places are real. It's very much based on the real world, and it's a world that has dragons and different breeds of dragons, and the dragons are treated and thought of as any other kind of wild animal, but they do have an air of mystery to them, and that's what the dragon like naturalists kind of want to study and learn more about. They want to demystify these creatures, kind of. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. If it continues with this pace, I think this is gonna be like one of my favorite reads for the year, and I could totally see myself continuing onto the next like books in the series. That was kind of long-winded, but I'll give you more updates later. Next book I'm reading, I feel like needs no introduction, but it's just The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. I know The Lord of the Rings is a book. I have compilation versions of it, but I also have 2 sets of the like divided series. I already read The Fellowship last year, the end of last year, and now I'm listening to the audiobook and reading The Two Towers. And so far I'm actually really liking The Two Towers more than The Fellowship. Just pacing wise and story wise, I think it's just, I mean, if you've seen the movies, you kind of get the gist of the books, even though there are definitely differences. But I would say Peter Jackson did a pretty faithful adaptation of these books, so you get the gist, I'd say. So I'm having a good time with that, and looks like I'm almost halfway through. Really digging that. Now, the last one on my TBR right now that I'm also working on is this doorstopper. I'm trying to tackle Dune this year. I'm only on page, I say only, I'm on page 250, but I've got quite a ways to go. Let's see. Dune. Honestly, my recommendation is go watch the movie if you want to know what it's about. This book is a labor of love. I don't even know if that's the right term, but I know conceptually I already love this book. I already love this series. I already love a lot about it. I do struggle with Frank Herbert with his writing style. It's not it's not great at times, particularly in my opinion. The dialogue, also one of those stories that kind of dumps you in and just kind of assumes that you know what's going on most of the time. So I feel like the first 100 pages was getting my bearings on what the heck was going on. I'm like the last person also to read this. Like, this is a sci-fi classic and I'm late. So if you haven't by chance read it, that's fine. I get that it's really intimidating. That's why I haven't read it. Dune is basically like, it's called like a space opera. It has tons of characters. It's set in the far, far future in the universe where mankind is already kind of spread around to different planets and like solar systems, and have sort of just colonized the universe, and a sort of feudal system has sort of taken root again in society. There's also an emperor, so it's like an empire. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of the setting. And the story follows the Atreides family, which they're like a ducal family. They were in charge of one planet, but they take over control of another planet, which is called Dune. Like colloquially, it's called Dune. It's called Arrakis. It's the only planet that has this special substance called spice, which that's hard to explain. Like opium and crude oil had like a baby. So that's kind of the story it's following. The main character's name is Paul, which I always think is funny. His mom's name is Jessica also. And this is a very like esoteric kind of like futuristic sci-fi, and I just find it funny that he chose those sorts of naming conventions. It's a lot. We're gonna try to get through that. I don't know if it's gonna happen in this vlog. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna go ahead and make some breakfast and some tea. I also wanted to show you guys, I recently put stickers in the back of my Kindle case and like did this whole setup, so I filmed that for you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and insert that and show you guys how I set up my Kindle case. Thinking maybe I'll listen to Two Towers. Yeah, I also really want to play on my Switch today, which also might be happening while I listen to that audiobook. Lately, I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom. I have a new Stardew Valley load that I've been trying to work on, but I haven't been very much at all. Winnie's going crazy, of course. But what I think I'm really interested in playing is a game I haven't started yet, Raji. It's like based on like Hindu mythology. And I've had it in my library for a really long time, but I haven't played it because I just kept getting distracted with other stuff. But I'm kind of in the mood for like a little adventure game, so I think I might play that later, and that might be really fun. Yeah, and then the last thing on my to-do, I know it sounds like it's gonna be such a busy day, but I'm really just like chilling out most of the day, is I did want to do some painting. So I'm gonna cut it right here for now, and I will check back in once we're over at my desk and situated and I have some food and some tea and I can function. But yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. I am normally left-handed, so I usually hold the mug the other way, but I just wanted to show you how cute this mug is. I got it from Anthropology like a couple years ago, and I just love the freaking cat on it. It just reminds me so much of Winnie, and this is like my everyday like tea mug. If you're curious, if you're a tea drinker, and I obviously drink it with like a heap ton of honey, so it's delicious. Also, don't mind the hook and random hole in our wall. That's a painting I did at Painting with a Twist. That's a painting I did in high school after my mom died. So quite a dichotomy going on back here. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna drink this tea and hopefully wake up. Even though it's caffeine free, I feel like the placebo effect it has on me is that it makes me feel awake. I'm all set up here now at my desk. Also, how cute is this blanket that I made? I love it. It's my favorite blankie. I hand knit this. I probably won't be hand knitting in this vlog, but I will be hand knitting in a vlog because I have more yarn and I do want to make another blanket, but I just haven't been motivated to do it yet. But I do really love the blanket that I already made. Also, my cat really loves it, and that's what's really important. So right now, I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Kindle, sip some tea, and see how far I can get in A Natural History of Dragons. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you guys some things I got thrifting recently. This is kind of a collective haul. This isn't one whole trip. I'm obsessed with this. I have already been using it a ton. It's this bag. This is not gonna be everybody's taste, but I love this bag. It has these like really jingly jangly beaded tassels all around it. I'm pretty sure this is homemade. It doesn't have a brand, and it also has this like Velcro kind of situation. But if it is homemade, which I think it is, it's very well made. Ugh, my mask is sticking to the Velcro. And it honestly seems like it might be like repurposed like upholstery or like a rug even or something. I don't know. But I'm obsessed with this. And to me, this is like a neutral. This goes with like everything I own. It holds all my junk, even my laptop. So perfect. I'm obsessed. And it cost me $3, I think. Like, you can't beat it. Next, I'll go over these books. Would just like share these because these were like pretty exciting, honestly. You have to be a Nicholas Sparks fan, which I am. He is my reading guilty pleasure. I know he's cliche. I know he's like wholesome New England white people romance, you know? I get it. But he does it for me for some reason. I'm sorry. I've read so many of his books. The Notebook, A Walk to Remember, Dear John. I'm obsessed with Nicholas Sparks. So I wanted to get these. And these were all literally sitting on a shelf together at the thrift store, as if like someone either donated them all together or someone had the intention of buying them all and then put them back. But these are 4 that I've never read. So we have The Choice, or no, just kidding. 3 that I haven't read and 1 that I didn't own but I have read. We have The Choice, which I haven't read. Dear John, which I have, but I didn't own it. True Believer, which I've never read. And then The Guardian, which I also haven't read. So I was just really excited to have all of these, and I'm definitely gonna work on them slowly throughout the year. I might save a couple for fall. They're really nice hardcovers, and they're actually all in decent condition. I feel like whoever owned them probably never read them. I don't have to be a Nicholas Sparks girly, but I am, and this is great for me. Next, this is like a set of coasters. I don't know why there's only 3. I feel like there should be 4, but there were only 3. But that's fine, in my opinion. Also, I don't use them the way they're meant to be used, really, because we don't have a coffee table. But they're these, like, little, like, I think, like, Renaissance-inspired paintings just on these. But yeah, I just think they're super cute, and I was really excited to get these. Literally at the store, like, we don't need these. We don't have a coffee table. But I was like, yeah, but you're really gonna regret not having them one day when you do have a coffee table. Next are some art supplies. They're art supplies to me. I'm gonna use them as art supplies. First, I just got these 2 little like crystal glass bowls. I do need to wash them. They're a little dusty. And I'm just gonna use these for washing my brushes in. I also grabbed this little number that I am so obsessed with. But I plan to put like mixing medium in this probably, or paint thinner or something, just to have it so that I can pour it onto my palette when I need it. And the last thing is probably the least exciting. I don't know why I saved this for last, but it's just a little porcelain dish. I'm just gonna put watercolor paints on this. Also, this sweatshirt that I'm wearing I actually thrifted, but it's not exciting. It's just a black sweatshirt that I got from the men's section. Also, this is a charm necklace that I made recently that I'm obsessed with. I cannot tell you how much joy this necklace brings me. Anyway, yeah, that was just a little whatever. See you in a little bit. Bye. I just wanted to do a quick little wrap up of the books I read in January. I read 3 books throughout January. So the first book I read was this puppy, A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. This is the prequel to The Priory of the Orange Tree, which I read 2 years ago, and I'm obsessed. Samantha Shannon is just an absolute genius. I mean, I can't sing her praises enough. This is just a masterwork of fantasy, and I just love it. I know it's not for everyone. I know some people read it and they think it's boring, but I'm not one of those people. The book is for me. Like, I am the target audience. So yeah, 5-star read in January. It was a great way to start my year off. 2 books I went ahead and read on Kindle. The second book I read was Tehanu, which is the 4th book in the Earthsea cycle by Ursula K. Le Guin, and I really enjoyed it. I need to finish the Earthsea cycle to really be able to rank all the stories, I feel like. I'm just a fan of Ursula K. Le Guin in general. I really like her short stories. I read The Ones Who Walk Away from the Amalas a couple years ago, and that's what introduced me to her writing. And then last year, I also read The Left Hand of Darkness, which is her sci-fi, and I loved it. So I'm just a big fan of her writing in general. Like, give it like 4.5 stars. But honestly, as a whole, the Earthsea cycle is 5 stars. I don't know if that totally makes sense, but that's what I'm giving it. And then the other book I read was another doorstopper. That's why I only really got 3 books done in January, because I was working on 2 like really hefty books. The third book I read was Wool, by Hugh Howley or something. Howley. It's the book that the new like Apple TV show Silo is based off of. Post-apocalyptic dystopian sort of story about people that live in an underground silo, and you don't really know what happened to the outside world, if there is an outside world. You don't know how these people got here. They have their own society that has its own rules and stuff. It's very interesting. I'd say if you like The Walking Dead, if you like The Last of Us, if you like maybe The City of Ember, if you read The City of Ember when you were younger, maybe a little bit if you like The Hunger Games. I wouldn't say it's like The Hunger Games, but maybe aspects of the dystopian nature you might enjoy. But yeah, it's kind of classic dystopian. I enjoyed it. It has mixed reviews from what I've seen on Goodreads, but I mean, honestly, it's just kind of up to personal preference. I'm a big fan of dystopian sci-fi. That's not everybody's cup of tea. Do I think it's like the most original and the most groundbreaking and the most inventive execution of that genre? No. But do I think it's bad? Not personally. I do have my qualms with it. I don't say this often because I love a meaty book. I love a doorstopper. But honestly, this is one of those books that could have been shorter, and that's because what the author chose to use those extra pages for were repetitious motifs, repetitious events. There was repetition that just honestly for me detracted from some of the intended effect of the story. I also think the story had a little bit of trouble with timing and pacing. As you go through the story, there are things you obviously don't know about this world and the society that they live in and the characters. And so things are slowly revealed that kind of piece back to things that you might have heard before or make other things make sense. You know, there's an air of mystery to a lot of this. And when it comes to mystery, timing is pretty much everything. And I don't know if I totally agree with some of the timing choices, particularly when it comes to the revelation of information and when it's given to the reader, and sometimes when it's withheld and for how long it's withheld. Because there were just certain times where I learned something and I kind of wish I didn't know it. And then vice versa, there were things that I wish I'd known sooner, you know? It's hard to explain. I'd give it like a solid 4 stars, we'll say. I'd say 4 stars. It's like not a 5-star favorite book of all time, but it's like an honorable mention, and I would recommend it in certain situations. That's how I felt about Wool. So yeah, those are the 3 books that I read in January. My goal for the year is to read 50 books. Goodreads says that I'm a little behind. My goal is like 3 or 4 books a month because I think that'll get me to 50. Yeah, that was my reading wrap up for January, and I will touch base with you guys at the end of this vlog. I'll touch base at the end of February to let you know how my February reading went, which I do have a feeling, based on how February is starting, I will have read hopefully a decent amount more in February. Even though it's a shorter month, which I find ironic, I do think it's actually going to be like a higher reading month. But anyway, I'll see you guys in a little bit. I think I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I think it's nap time. I'm not going to lie. I know it's daylight, but what's a couple hours? Alright guys, that is gonna wrap up this cozy vlog. Gonna wrap it up for now. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. Thanks for coming along with me as I do my thing and doing fun stuff, you know? So if you enjoyed this video, please, like and comment and let me know that you'd want to see more of this style of video. I really enjoy it, and it's the kind of content that I enjoy watching anyway, so I think it's the kind of content I'm gonna make. Yeah, that was it. So thanks so much for joining me, and I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time.